or boy? What? That was the Kinks. Can you? Lola versus Power Man and the Money Go Round was the album 1970. That's the album that Lola came from. Remember Lola, Carol? That's the album that taught me about transvestites. That top 40 single. Do you see the evil of pop music? Do you see? Do you understand the evil? I was like, oh, wait. Although actually, I don't think I really understood that song until college. Wait, I know what I am, and I'm a man, and so's Lola. I liked the song. It was a catchy tune. I listened to it all throughout junior high school. Oh, Lola, la, la, Lola. Oh, and then in college, I actually listened to the lyrics. I was like, oh, that's a song about a transvestite. Yay! That was great. So, oh yeah, okay, here we go. You ready? Gear up. Don't be working too hard tomorrow and Friday. Nope. Relax. Save your energy at work. See it a lot. Meditate. Take deep breaths. Let's do that again. That felt good, didn't it? Doesn't that feel good? Carol, the ladies who run the yoga classes at the Y are on their stuff. And when I say stuff, I mean shiznit. They are on their shiznit. Oh, feels so good just to slow down, doesn't it? So, relax at work. Don't get anything done the next 2 days. Save up your energy because even if you didn't spend $110 for a 3-day pass at Hopscotch, it's First Friday, Friday. And it's First Friday, Friday, at a time when you got about 800 strangers from all over the country coming to Raleigh because it's the hip place to be this week. Yeah, that's great. Grace and Curran and the Independent deserve a lot of credit for that. Now, you didn't pay $110 for a 3-day pass. You didn't even pay for a 1-day pass. But you want to participate in Hopscotch. Well, there you go. From about noon until 5, 3 to 5, depends on the venue, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, there's day parties, mostly Friday and Saturday. Go to that link and you can find the links to the really, 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 really cheap day parties or free day parties. That's a great way. If you ain't got no money, that's a great way to do Hopscotch. Carol, can I be a little bit critical of Hopscotch? All right. She says, all right. As if that's going to stop me. The outdoor big event shows on Fayetteville Street Mall never sound very good. I know Flaming Lips last year had that big bouncing ball and it bounced all around Fayetteville Street. I mean, they're neat. They're big crowds. I saw Public Enemy a couple years ago. You know, I mean, it was neat. Was it last year? I don't know. They're all a blur. How many hopscotches have we had? 4, 8, something like that. It's a big event. It's a success. Carol, did you hear the Independent got sold? No. Oh, it was in the Independent. Oh, that's right. Not many people read the Independent anymore. No. Did you guys, we have a studio audience a little bit. Do you guys know the Independent got sold? Yeah. Steve Schul, the guy that ran the Independent, he had a furniture fortune here in North Carolina because furniture was big in North Carolina. Came from a furniture family. In 1970 or so, early 70s, started the Independent with his furniture money. It's been, my guess, Carol, losing money. No, seriously. Somebody name, the Village Voice organization's in trouble. Somebody name an independent weekly lefty newspaper around the country that's profitable right now. Any newspaper. You can't. No. News dailies are still profitable. Don't believe the hype. They just don't like that their profits aren't as much as they used to be. But daily newspapers, many, many, many of them are still profitable. McClatchy, still making a profit on the N&O. Cutting like crazy so they can keep their profits going. But man, it's not hard to make a profit on a newspaper. Not when you got a big company behind you. But the Independent, a weekly, that used to make all its money from personal ads, right? No, this killed the gay newspapers too. Craigslist. And not just Craigslist. They made dumb decisions, but you know, the Independent, okay, my bottom line, Carol, what am I saying? Independent got sold. You know who bought it, Carol? Who? Charles Meeker's brother.
What's he going to do with it?
Well, he lives in Portland, Oregon. So the Independent just got bought out by Charles Meeker's brother, former Mayor Charles Meeker's brother, who lives in Portland, Oregon, along with some other partner. So apparently they have a lot of money. But if the Independent's been profitable over the last 5 years, I will eat the tufts of hair over my non-existent years. So, you know, you got to give him props for, you know, Steve Schewel for keeping the paper going. And, you know, even though it can't have been profitable, no way. Seriously, I'll eat something of someone else's choosing if I'm wrong on that. But, you know, I just can't see how the Independent's been profitable. But you know what, Carol? You know what Steve Schewel didn't sell? Hopscotch. Hopscotch. So the Hopscotch Festival is probably, at this point, profitable. 3 cheers for Grayson Curran. He had the idea, him and his buddy, and they put it together, worked their asses off. It wasn't profitable the first year, I guarantee you that. And so probably it's profitable now. They figured it out. And now Raleigh benefits, the Triangle benefits, the Independent benefits by being associated with it, though not anymore. I mean, they're not really, they don't own it anymore. So this is a good thing. So, go to some of the free day parties. Support the artists. Buy the stuff that they're selling. Make Hopscotch a success. And even if you don't, go out to First Friday. You will, I promise you, this week's First Friday, this month, September's First Friday, because it's on the same weekend as Hopscotch, which, Carol, is an accident of God. That's convenient. I guarantee you it's going to be happening downtown. Guaranteed. Lucky break for those of you who just liked art galleries. Oh, Carol's like DNC. All right. Moving on. Can we talk about the DNC? So, I'll tell you what, let's take a break. And we'll come back, and I'm gonna be gone. But seriously, monkeys, tons of great stuff happening around town this weekend. Get out of your house. Go meet some people. Do something.
Robert owes half to Granville, who in turn gave half to Larry, who adored my instrumentals. And so he gave half to a foreign publisher. He took half the money that was earned in some far distant land, gave back half to Larry, and I end up with half of goodness knows what. Can't somebody explain why things go on this way? I thought they were my friends. I can't believe it's me. I can't believe that I'm so green. Eyes down, round and round. Let's all sit and watch the money go round. Everyone take a little bit here and a little bit there. Do they all deserve money from a song that they never heard? They don't know the tune and they don't know the words, but they don't give a damn. There's
So we really appreciate our sponsors. And just to mention one little element of the hopscotch thing, that Ed McKay, Used Books and More, does a cultural series every afternoon. They're doing a cultural series at the at Hopscotch this year at the Raleigh City Museum. And we've told you many, many times the Raleigh City Museum kicks ass. Carol, Carol says, very good. What's the picture I love so much at the Raleigh City Museum? The integration of Pullen Park's swimming pool. In 1964, this was a big issue all over the South. And remember, in most southern cities, these were violent episodes. Maybe not most, but many southern cities. In Raleigh, how did Pullen Park's pool get integrated? A bunch of black kids came in and jumped into the whites-only pool. And there is a photo at the Raleigh City Museum. And you know, how much does it cost to go to the Raleigh City Museum? It's free. So Ed McKay's series, this series of talks and panels, basically, that they're doing at 3 p.m. every day during Hopscotch, starting tomorrow, Thursday at 3, Friday at 3, Saturday at 3. So if you're out downtown wandering around, at 3 o'clock at the Raleigh City Museum, right there on Fayetteville Street Mall, Ed McKay is sponsoring this panel series, okay? And while you're there, there's a photo in the Raleigh City Museum of the exact moment that the black kids integrated the Pullen Park pool by just jumping in. Right? Are you with me, people? And there's these white kids who are standing at the edge like this, and then there's other white kids who are still in the pool, glancing over at the black kids like, well, I'm not feeling contaminated. Are you feeling contaminated? You know, it's an awesome picture. If you do nothing else this weekend, if you don't go out to any of the First Friday galleries, and ArtSpace has some awesome stuff this month. ArtSpace, if you don't go, there's some great exhibits this month in the main gallery. Jonathan, brilliant. All these awesome sculptures and paintings on the walls using nothing but the detritus of coffee shop culture. Three-dimensional tubes made from the lids of coffee cups, or the cozies that you use so you don't burn your hands. Coffee grounds smashed on the wall in odd patterns. Okay, that's at ArtSpace. If you do nothing else, go to the Raleigh City Museum and go ask the people there, where is the picture of the black kids jumping into the pool at Pullen Park? And tell them Monkey Time sent you, just for extra bonus. 3 o'clock on Thursday, soul, gospel, folk, and blues influences in indie music. Friday, 3 o'clock, cover tunes. Why do people do cover tunes? These are all things sponsored by Ed McKay's, these panel discussions. Peter Holsapple from the DBs is going to be at the Friday one. The worldwide weirdness, how you can take the internet, use the internet to take your band further. Some folks from Pitchfork and the Village Voice and other people there. So anyway, that's really cool happening. So what was I talking about, Carol? The DNC and politics, right. Go to my Twitter page first. There was a new article by Matt Taibbi in Rolling Stone. Matt Taibbi used to be an awesome journalist based out of Russia. He ran an American expatriate magazine called The Exile, which was this scathing, bitterly sarcastic magazine about Russian culture based in Moscow. They got some threats and they left eventually, and now he's a journalist here in the States. And he writes for Rolling Stone, scathing articles about the financial system. He has a new article out about Mitt Romney's career at Bain. And you've got Mitt Romney saying the American debt is a big problem. And basically, Matt Taibbi has come out and detailed how Mitt Romney made all his money. And basically, Mitt Romney makes all his money by borrowing huge amounts of money and then getting other people to pay that back. And he dissects companies as he does this. That's how Mitt Romney's, the Bain business strategy works. And they also get tax credits from the government, not tax credits, what's the write-off? Tax write-offs from the government on all the money that they borrow. I'm not a financial expert, but Mitt Romney could not have done what he did with Bain Capital in buying up these companies and splitting them up, firing everybody, outsourcing the jobs to China, and then making millions without the government's help. That's just bottom line basic. Now, I know what you right-wingers are saying, and I know you're out there because, because I tell you, I know you're out there, and you're like, how does he know I'm out there? And you know it's true, or something. But I've told you before, I read the right-wing blogs, and I read the right-wing magazines, right? I do. I check the Drudge Report to see how he spins the news of the day in a hilariously, closeted gay right-wing way. If you don't know Drudge is a closet case, well, he is. Fortune magazine ran an analysis of this Rolling Stone piece by Matt Taibbi. And if you go to my Twitter page, Carol, yeah, there it is. Put it up, I link directly to it, where Fortune magazine's blog post, which is linked at CNN's Money site, they all have these incestuous relationships, but where he says that basically Matt Taibbi is absolutely right. It's totally hypocritical of Mitt Romney to be railing against the United States and debt and irresponsible debt, when what he does is create huge amounts of debt that he then gets other people to pay for, and he profits from that. Like I said, I'm not an economics expert, but when Fortune magazine says, well, basically Matt Taibbi's article in Rolling Stone is right in nailing Mitt Romney's hypocrisy. It's Fortune magazine. What do you want from me? I'm not giving you a left-wing communist rag, right? They go on to say, Matt Taibbi then blames, what's the word? All private, I don't even know these terms. He goes too far, they say, in blaming the whole setup, the whole system. But they say he's right in calling out Mitt Romney for hypocrisy. And then you've got the Romney running mate. Can we put that one up, Carol? I think it's 16. No, 15. The one with Paul Ryan? Yeah, this guy. Romney, in the midst of a recession, and we're still in a recession, Mitt Romney chooses a guy who wants to slash food stamps dramatically. Now, we'll get back to the food stamps thing in a second, and you can call up if you feel like calling up. He pulls on a guy who's the most anti-poor person that you can possibly get from the U.S. House of Representatives right now. Ryan proposed over and over slashing food stamps. Why? Because in his Ayn Randian world, food stamps are bad. In the middle of a recession. Now think about the kind of person that does this. Mr. Ryan. In the middle of a recession, when we've still got horrible unemployment, which they're willing to blame Obama for, and not the crappy mess he inherited, it's a mix, I grant you. And the Republicans obstructing any kind of stimulus package, so Obama had to keep compromising down. They're completely ignoring the fact that they are primarily responsible for the Republicans for the continuation of the recession. Because you don't get out of a recession by cutting. You get out of a recession by investing. This is basic knowledge. Basic knowledge. But Paul Romney and his buddies not only wanted to cut government, but now they want to say food stamps are there's too much food stamps. The growth in food stamps is ridiculous. In the middle of the worst recession in 70 years, right? Ryan wants to cut food stamps dramatically. This was just last April when he proposed again this budget. And now the Republicans, we just heard the news today that the food stamps, there's more people on food stamps now than ever before. That's horrible. There's no doubt about that. But what do you do to fix it? Think about the people on food stamps. As part of the stimulus package, Obama loosened the requirements for food stamps so that more people in these troubled times could get help. But if you go to my Twitter page, you see a link to the Cato Institute, which is a diehard Ayn Randian libertarian organization. Right, Carol? The Cato Institute, cato.org. Diehard Ayn Randian libertarian. You go to that, to my Twitter page, there's a direct link that points out that the increase in food stamps started under Bush. The opening up of food stamps started under Bush. And some of the same Republicans right now who are attacking Obama for this, how dare, look at this, we have more people on food stamps now, were part of the problem, well, if they call it a problem, but who voted for increasing eligibility for food stamps and expanding the food stamp program in 2002, 2004, all during the Bush administration. This is the Cato Institute, the libertarians, saying it's unfair for Republicans to attack Obama on the food stamp program getting bigger and bigger. But think for a second what it would mean to cut the food stamp program right now. What they're trying to do is stir up the old Ronald Reagan bugaboo of welfare queens, right? They're trying to say that this is where all of our big government waste is, not the ridiculous military waste that we just, nobody's talking about that anymore. Remember that, Carol? Remember when we used to talk about like $800 toilet seats and the ridiculous military procurement system? 9/11 killed all that. You think that waste is any less than it was? If anything, it's much huger. No one's even talking about that. The amount of waste going into the military-industrial complex and garbage bullcrap like those, you know, scanning devices and all the security theater at the airports. That amount of waste compared to the increase in food stamps? You're kidding me, right? So think about the mindset of a kind of person like Paul Ryan and Mitt Romney, who chose Paul Ryan as his running mate, who in the middle of one of the worst economic times the country's seen in over 70 years, says, well, really, the main thing we need to do is cut government assistance to people at the very bottom of the poverty scale. Because we just don't do that in America, or something. But think about the humanity of the person, or lack of humanity of the person, who looks at the huge scope of garbage waste in the military security theater world and decides that what he wants to focus on is cutting funding to the poorest of the poor and food stamps. That's the issue. And don't even get me started about Erskine Bowles and Bowles Simpson. Erskine Bowles is a clown. And the Erskine Bowles Simpson plan that's going to like, well, we've got to like, you know, increase the age for Social Security and cut benefits and, you know, all those promises that we made to you about Social Security. Erskine Bowles are saying, well, we can't do that anymore. But what? Look at all that waste in the military. Just one example, right? Just this one example. And instead, you've got Erskine Bowles, North Carolina's big Democrat, yay, I don't see him as a respectable figure in politics at all. Erskine Bowles is a clown, trying to balance the budget and fix the economy on the backs of poor and middle-class people. Erskine Bowles should be ashamed of himself. Hi, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air.
Yeah, my question is, you're running down Mitt Romney for this food stamp thing when all he wants to do is create more jobs to get people off of food stamps.
How?
And
How? How?
And I totally agree with you.
How? How is Mitt Romney going to create more jobs?
He's already created thousands of jobs in his business. Now you're going to attack him as a businessman?
He sends, yes, absolutely. His business is dissecting companies. Wait, he sends jobs. Wait. What?
Unfair. You talk about being unfair. Even the Washington Post and the New York Times say it's unfair.
What's happening in Ohio right now?
Romney did not create jobs.
What's happening in Ohio right now with Bain? What's happening in Ohio right now with Bain? There's a company in Ohio getting torn apart with the jobs shipped to China. They have been protesting at Romney events. And you know what's happening? They are getting Republicans like you. They are getting, hang on. They are getting Republicans like you.
President, CEO of GE just outsourced 30,000 jobs.
Yeah, and I'm saying, wait. You're holding up Romney as a jobs creator. You're holding up Romney as a jobs creator, right? And I'm telling you that right now, the company that...
Absolutely. Look at Staples. How do you just put your head in the sand when it comes to companies like Staples? Even you go to Staples.
No, I don't, actually. But that's great, you know. I mean, I don't. But thank you.